You guys all think you're so much better than me.
Oh, Meg, that is the least fancy thing I have ever heard.
Before the video starts, about 96% of you guys are not subscribed. Subscribing and clicking that notification bell does help me out a lot in doing what I really want to do. Thank you guys so much for all the support. What is going on, guys? Rogue TCG here bringing another Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG deck profile. This is going to be for definitely more of a rogue deck. I wouldn't even be sure how you'd consider it that right now. But it's Mermail Atlantean Punk, I guess. This is a variation off of a Mermail Atlantean, or Merlantean as some people refer to it as. The deck was fairly powerful a long while ago when the Atlanteans and Mermails first came out. Then it kind of lost relevance. I picked up the deck when Halqifibrax was legal, and the deck could do some pretty cool things, including like basically hand loop your entire opponent's hand away. The deck can no longer really do that consistently or do it at all functionally because Halqifibrax is gone. So we are trying out different things. And here we're doing the Punk engines in order to get a water monster in graveyard, as well as make an early Cyframe Lord Omega to rip a card out of our opponent's hand. The water is going to be the Rising Carp, because we are going to be fusing, which does make it so Deep Sea Aria can activate turn 1 if we are going the Punk route. But that's enough yapping. One last thing before I start. The main reason I wanted to build this profile is because the Fire Kings are relevant. The Fire Kings are meta-defining right now, along with all the Sinful Spoil stuff. And it doesn't take a brain genius to decipher that most likely one of the decks that might be getting support next will be the Atlanteans, because in all of the art that includes the Fire Kings, it's kind of implied that the Atlanteans are fighting against them, and they did come out around the same time. As you see in this card art with Phantasm Spiral Assault, I'll pop it up on screen nice and large for all y'all. You can see Poseidra, the Atlantean boss monster that no one ever plays, just Bing chilling there in the water, and you see one of the Fire Kings, I think it's High Avatar Garunix, or one of the Garunixes, just also Bing chilling right back there with the Spiral guy. So I just think that's interesting. I'm hopeful for new support, however, I'm not really anticipating it. The Deep Sea stuff is good enough, however, it's very easy to interact with, and this deck just hard loses to Droll, just full stop. Like, you can't do anything around Droll. So, yeah. That's just my first thoughts about the deck, and let's get into the profile. Alrighty, starting off the profile, we are starting with our Mermails. We have 2 Abyss Megalo. You can pitch 2 other waters from your hand to the grave, special summon it from your hand, and when it's summoned, you can add an Abyss Spell Trap from your deck to your hand. You contribute another attack position water monster, and it can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Not completely irrelevant. Can trigger your Atlanteans, because the Atlanteans need to be sent to grave by water card's effect. And this guy can get pretty big, and attacking twice is nothing to shake your head at. Like, Borrelsword could do that, and Borrelsword is still pretty alright. So this card can really finish out games if you do get to that position. We're on triple Mermail Abyss Teus. You can pitch another water from your hand to the grave to special summon this from your hand. When special summon this way, you can add a level 4 lower Mermail monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Teus once per turn. So you can only use the second effect of Teus once per turn. You can summon it as many times as you want. So we are playing 3 of it. These are level 7s. We're playing 1 rank 7. And we're playing a monster at Synchro 10, because we do have level 3 tuners that we can special in order to make it. We're playing 1 Mermail Abyss Pike. When it's no more special, you can pitch a water to add a level 3 water from your deck to your hand. You can only use it once per turn. There's a lot more level 3 waters now that we have the Deep Sea stuff, although we've had it for a little while now. So this isn't just adding Abyss Gund anymore. You have a lot of different options, and by a lot I mean exactly 1 more option. Speaking of Abyss Gund, if this card's discarded to the grave, you can target a Mermail in your grave and special summon it. You can use Gund once per turn. It's just a way to recur monsters. We're planning on searching this out, so we don't really want to be opening it, but if we do open it, it isn't the end of the world if we open more Mermails. Next, the Twink himself, Neptibus the Atlantean Prince. On Ignition, you can send an Atlantean monster from your deck to the grave, except for himself, to add an Atlantean card from your deck to your hand, except for himself. If this card is sent to the grave to activate a water monster's effect, you can special an Atlantean except for himself, and you can use each effect once per turn. Very powerful card, both reborning your Atlanteans as well as sending them to grave and filling up your hand. One of the best cards in the entire deck, and we definitely want to be seeing it on our turn. Next, we are on triple Atlantean Dragoons. Literally the main reason to be playing the deck. Best card in the entire deck, bar none, except for maybe Diva. It's a level 4 Sea Serpent. All level 3 or lower Sea Serpents can attack directly. Completely irrelevant. If this card is sent to the grave to activate a water monster's effect, add a Sea Serpent from your deck to your hand except for itself. That's it. Full stop. That counts for when it's sent off Megalo. It counts for when it's sent off Neptibus. It counts for when it's detached as an Xyz material off Bahamut fucking Shark. Like, it's crazy versatile. And it just searches any Sea Serpent, which a very large majority of our deck is, barring some of the mermails, like Teus is an aqua, Pike is a fish, Gund is an aqua, but Megalo's a Sea Serpent. All of our Atlanteans are Sea Serpents. All our Deep Seas are Sea Serpents. Moon Glacia is a Sea Serpent. So we do have a couple options when tutoring off of that. Next, we're on double Atlantean Heavy Infantry. Tempted to actually play 3 of it. You get an additional normal summon, a level 4 lower Sea Serpent type monster in addition to your normal summon. And then if this is pitched to the grave, you can target a face-up card and destroy it. This is not only an extra normal summon, but it's also removal when you pitch it for an Atlantean or a mermail or anything, really, any water. So just being able to double serve, like serve double duty, is just very powerful. That's it for our Atlanteans. Now onto our Deep Seas. We're on triple Deep Sea Diva, like the best card in the deck. When it's normal summoned, you can special summon a level 3 lower Sea Serpent from your deck. Always going to be Neptibus pretty much, unless for some reason you don't want to. You're running out of Neptibus, you open 3 Neptibus and a Diva, like, who knows? So there are options. You don't just have to summon Neptibus off of Diva. However, it is the best one to be summoning. So we are on triple Diva. It is also a level 2 tuner. We're on a triple Deep Sea Minstrel. You can discard this and another water, look at your opponent's hand, banish a card from it face up until the end phase. If this card's special summon, you can send the top 3 of your deck to the grave, then target a level 4 or lower water in your grave, put it on the top or bottom of the deck, and you can use each effect once per turn. This is really good for sniffing out hand traps, Nibiru, Droll, Ash Blossom. If the first move you have is activate Minstrel, pitch Dragoon, Minstrel is going to be resolving first. You can pitch whatever, you can remove whatever hand trap you don't want to be dealing with for the turn. And then your Dragoon can trigger without having to worry about anything. Or at least you knowing what they can interact with. Then we're on one Lapis Dragon. If this card's added from your deck to your hand, you can reveal this card, special summon it. If this card's added to the grave to your hand by a card effect, you can reveal it, special it, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Lapis Dragon once per turn and only once that turn. It's just a level 5 tuner that we can add to our hand and then immediately just shit out if we added it with a Dragoons. Next, we're on one Moon Glacia. It's a Sea Serpent, so we can search it. This one's a little bit tricky because we do need to do a little bit of math. It makes this deck a little bit more difficult. You can only special summon it from your hand by controlling exactly 5 waters in your grave, which means you have to do a little bit of graveyard math. But if it is special summon, discard 2 random cards from your opponent's hand. Yeah. So pitching 2 cards in a format where a lot of decks require a large density of cards in their hand and resources available to them is quite good. Which is why I'm like, if they support the Atlantean cards, this deck actually could have like maybe a fighting chance against the Fire Kings just by draining their resources before their turn even starts and being able to play through their stuff with their Atlanteans. Because the Atlanteans are still pretty good at playing through stuff even now, just because they're not once per turn. And they trigger when they're sent for cost for things, unlike the other stuff, so. But that's it for our main deck Sea Serpents and main Mermail Atlantean stuff. Now on to our, supplementary engine. We're on one Crowned by the World Chalice because it is a water. So is this. This is also a water, so we can special summon it after we've waterlocked ourselves, which is quite nice. It's a level 2 monster, which is pretty alright for synchroing. It lets us go 2+5 to go to Deep Sea Prima Donna, and then we can overlay into Abyss Gaios, which is interesting. So, it's just a free body, and that's why we're playing it. It's a water, so we can always pitch it for stuff, so it's not necessarily a Garnet. We're on 2 No Punk Xiamen. We really don't want to be opening this, and for our combo, we do need 2 of it, so we actually don't want to see any of our Punk stuff in the opener, which is quite unfortunate. So we're on 2 Xiamen. You can pay 600 to add a Punk from your deck to your hand, except for itself, and that secondary effect is irrelevant. We're on 1 Sharakusai. You can pay 600 to fusion summon a Punk using cards from your hand or field as material. So this actually might be able to You know, if we open a Xiamen, it's not the end of the world because we can go Itali, special summon Sharakusai, and then fuse using the Xiamen in hand. And technically, we do get a save of material off of that. However, it does require us to open a card that we don't want to open regardless. But Sharakusai is good to open or to have in deck, really. Then we are on one Deer Note. It is a level 5 punk that we can special summon off of Rising Carp in order to make the Omega with the extra Xiamen. And when it's sent to the grave for a synchro material, you can special summon a punk other than itself back. You're always summoning a level 3 tuner back. And then one Foxy Tune in order for our normal combo, because we go Eat Telly, grab Xiamen, Xiamen, grab Foxy Tune. Foxy Tune has the effect where you can discard it and another card from your hand to special summon up level a punk that is not level 8. Damn, I was really stuttering on my words, but I'm not editing that out. So the combo is you go Xiamen, Xiamen, add Foxy Tune, pitch one other card, special summon Sharakusai, Shirakusi fused with Xiamen to go into Rising Carp. Rising Carp special summon the other Xiamen, the Deer Note, make Omega, and then Omega bring back the other Deer Note, bring back the Xiamen. So you're ending on one card ripped out of hand plus a Xiamen on your board, all off of one E-Telly and a discard. Next, we're on our spells. We're on Triple Deep Sea Aura. You can banish a water from your grave to add a level 4 or lower Sea Serpent from your deck to your hand. You can only activate it once per turn. Rising Carp is a water, so we can banish that, which means we can start our combo like that. We're on 1 for 1, so we can special summon our Neptibus. It won't trigger our Atlanteans because they have to be pitched for a water monster effect. However, Neptibus is just that important. We're on 1 Called by the Grave, because of course we are. We're on Triple E-Telly because we're playing punks. We're on 1 Abyss Scale, the Mizuchi. This is a search target off of Megalo. It's an automatic spell negate, so it can even negate like Super Poly and stuff like that, since it's not an actual effect that you're activating. It's like an automated thing. And then we're on 1 Imperm as just like an extra card. Now on to our extra. We're on 1 Miss Starboy. We're on 1 Abyss Lacia. 1 Coral Enemy. This card can bring back cards. 1 Totally Awesome to be summoning off of our Bahamut Shark. 1 Abyss Dweller for graveyard strats, as well as being a water, so we can actually buff it up. 1 Abyss Gaius, being able to negate all cards, face-up monsters my opponent currently controls on a quickie. It's actually attack less than it, but more than likely we'll be activating it at a point where that won't be relevant. 1 Herald of the Arclight, because we could potentially make it, and if we do get interacted with, we can just end on this, and sometimes that might just be enough. 1 If the World Chalice Justicar, water, it searches our Will Legacy Succession, which I actually did glance over. It's just a reborn to a link point. So we can add that on summon, and then when this is sent to the grave, you can special summon a World Chalice being crowned. And it is a water, so it plays under Marincess Coral Enemy, which does waterlock us. We're on 1 Brionic, because it works really well with our Atlanteans, and yeah, it just works really well with our Atlanteans, the water. We're on 1 Deep Sea Prima Donna. We can put it back an opponent's banished card back into their hand in order to special summon a Sea Serpent from our deck. Can really help us in extending. I already went over Omega. Dragite will spell negate when we have a water in grave, and then A Green is just a big bungus. That's it for the extra. Now onto the side. We're on double Atlantean Marksman. Alrighty. Not a full side deck. The side's completely like whatever you want. Just letting you know, Marksman is the set version of Infantry, so it can pop set cards, so it's functionally like spell trap removal. Alright, now I'm gonna get to my final thoughts. Alrighty, so looking at final thoughts, this deck is like, I don't know. It's probably like a for fun deck, to be completely honest, although if you're gonna have fun with your friends, I wouldn't recommend pulling up with this, because you're planning on discarding like 3 to 4 cards out of their hand, ideally. We can't get all 5 because we can't play Hulk to get the Desert Locusts out, so unfortunate, oh boo-hoo. However, I did want to take just a moment to point out how many not good water link monsters are. There aren't any generic water links, really. The only ones are like Zelantis. Bubble Reef is fairly generic. I was considering putting the Marincess stuff in here since you just need waters for the most part. Not this one. This one needs Marincesses. But we have like Area the Water Charmer. Marincess Coral and Enemy is pretty generic. But there aren't really too many options. Like there's 2 pages. Like look at that. There's like no good water monsters. This is fish specific. This is cyber specific. So please, Konami, if you're looking this, if there's some Konami representative, please give us more like water monsters. Like the one that we played, Halka Fibrax, is like banned now. So at least give us something. There's a new fishboard card, but it doesn't really work with this stuff. I tried it already, so that's kind of unfortunate on that front. But yeah, this deck also didn't get a major hit when Sprites got hit. You used to play the Swap Frog and Ronin Totem package in order to just get free extenders and just keep linking and synchroing. Even though you can't synchro with the Ronin Totem, I know, but you synchro with the Swap Frog. But you know, that's not really a possibility anymore because Ronin Totem's banned, so there's no reason to play Swap Frog in this deck. So yeah, those are just my final thoughts. I'm a little disappointed in how this deck ended up turning out over so much time. I was a big fan of the deck when it first came out, in my mind, when the new Deep Sea stuff got printed, and I was like, oh, I can play this old strategy with these new cards. But now the new cards aren't new anymore. It's been quite a few years now since the Deep Sea stuff came out. And please, Konami, we would really like to see some more Atlantean support. Please don't support the hand-ripped aspect of Atlantean. Please don't. Please, like, give us something beneficial to do. Because if we look at the Atlantean cards in Atlantean, look at these. We got Attack Squad, which is a Battle Pack card. Pikeman, also like a Battle Pack card. We have Marksman, which we were playing. We have Infantry, Prince, Dragoons, and then we have like the Dragons, Tridon, and Poseidra. Just not very good in general. Same with Call of the Atlanteans. Not good right now. And then Phantasm Spiral Dragon, because it mentions the Atlanteans in its text. So yeah. Like, we need more Atlanteans. I don't know how this deck even got to support, like, a structure deck, like, with this few cards. Because if you look at the Atlanteans, and then look at the Fire Kings, like, with their new support, like, they really have a lot of support. So, what the? I'm not even gonna look at that right now. But, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, if you still are. Sorry for this last little rambly bit, but I'll see y'all later. Bye. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. It really means a lot. If you want to talk to other Yu-Gi-Oh players in a competitive manner, please feel free to check out my Discord. We are still growing, but we would love to have you, and we plan to do some events sometime soon. You'll also be able to do cool stuff like vote on future videos and topics of videos, so swing by sometime and check us out. I also started a Patreon, so that'll be linked in the description of my videos from now on. Donating would mean a lot and would help in producing these videos. Right now, there's only one tier, being Tier 1 Femboy. This tier includes access to an exclusive Discord channel where you'll be able to talk amongst other femboys and have access to discussions with me as well as getting a shout out in every video following your patronage. Thank you so much for all your support.